Good evening, everyone. My name is Yi Li Vu, and I am the Adult Services and Engagement Librarian at the Appleton Public Library. I will be interviewing an amazing entrepreneur today. We're going to be able to hear about their journey, and also you will be able to interact with them. So if there's any questions, feel free to put it in the chat. Just want to let you know that this Entrepreneurs of Color Spotlight is brought to you by the Appleton Public Library, UW Extension of Outagamie and Winnebago, and ColorBold Business Association. We also want to thank our sponsors, Wisconsin United Coalition of Mutual Assistance Association, and also Hmong, Wisconsin Chamber of Commerce. So thank you to our sponsors. I will, before I bring Amy Woods in, I want to just do a little bit of introduction about who she is. Amy is the co-owner and of Favorite Brand. She is the wife and mother of she is the mother and wife of 4 children, and she's very dedicated to providing natural body and hair care solutions. She enjoys being with her family and also being outdoor as well. So I'm going to welcome Amy to join us. Hi, Amy.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Yes, thank you for being a part of our Entrepreneurs of Color Spotlight. Can you share a little bit more about who you are?
Yeah, so as you mentioned, I am Amy Woods. I am the co-owner of Favorite Brand, and my husband is the other owner and founder. I have 4 kids, so they take a lot of my time, which is wonderful. And then I also I enjoy being outside, enjoy being in nature and whatnot. But yeah, Favorite Brand basically is a company that manufactures and sells natural body care products.
Awesome. So what inspired you to start Favorite Brand?
Yeah, so basically my husband actually started making his own products. He had gone bald at a young age, and so he was like, oh, let me get creative with my beard and grow my beard out. And he was using products on the market, and he has very sensitive skin. And he often would have like flaking on his shirt, or he'd be itching and just have irritation and bumps and all these things. And he just wasn't able to find a solution on the market. So he started making his own products. And I was amazed just seeing the difference in what it was able to do for him. His barber is his brother. And so his brother had started using the products on his clients. And, they were like, hey, this is good stuff, especially for the guys that were struggling with sensitive skin. And so after that, we just kind of expanded from there. He started making beard wash, and he had an idea. Actually, I have one right here. He had an idea for a beard balm stick, and he was like, hey, wouldn't it be cool, instead of like digging my hands in a traditional balm, if I had a stick that I could just, apply, and then a brush on the other end to brush it in. And so we kind of took that idea and ran with it, so to speak. We applied it to a hair care product for the girls. So often I would take my daughters out to, whether it be gymnastics or even school, and I would turn around and their hair would be like a mess. And so I'm like, gosh, that stick would be cool for, for the girls, so I could style their hair quick in the car. And so that's how we developed the Stay Stick. So a lot of our products have just come from, personal need, really. Our kids have eczema. 2 of them get it pretty significantly still. And so my husband was like, let me do some research. And so he's a big research person. And so a lot of his effort is spent in product development, whereas my side of the business is mostly, how to get it out there, all of the fun admin work and meetings and things that go on in the background. So that's kind of how we got started and where we're at.
Okay. How many years have you been in business?
Officially 2 years in August.
Okay. And if they want to find your products, where can they find the products? Is it in retail, or do you have like a storefront?
So we mostly sell online. So if you are needing a product right away, you can shop on Amazon. We have some of our products on Amazon. We also sell direct from our website. So I see you popped it up there. It's www.myfavoritbrand.com. And then we also do have some products in local barbershops. Stars Barbershop carries some beard care products, and that's in Green Bay. We have Tapers Barbershop, which is in Appleton, and they carry beard care products. They also have some of the skincare products as well. And then we are in Hy-Vee in Janesville, Wisconsin, if you're out near there, soon to be in the Ashwaubenon on Hy-Vee as well. So yeah, you can go on our website under the drop down. I believe it says retail locations, and you can put in your zip code to see which location is closest to you. And then we do also have a storefront. It has limited hours, so usually it's open like end of the week, Thursday, Friday, Saturday type thing. And that is out in Seymour. So if you're in the Oneida area, it's pretty convenient. And we're right on Main Street in Seymour. It's 241 South Main Street. So.
Okay. Yeah, so I know you already talked a little bit about what inspired you and your husband to start this business, but what is something that makes your business more unique than your other competitors?
Yeah, so I'd say for us, obviously, natural ingredients is a big thing right now. There are a lot of companies that are, catching on and realizing that people do care about using products that are all natural. So we are definitely in that category. We try to keep everything, even from our cleaning products that we have now and our soaps, as clean as possible. So outside of that, I would say the convenience aspect. We are an innovative company. We are always looking for new ways to make things easier for people. So for instance, having customers that have little ones that have sensory issues. Our daughter hates the feel of lotion. So the body butter sticks, the fact that they're convenient for travel, they're not a liquid, and that they are easy to apply for people maybe who have disabilities or mobility issues. And so we just think outside of the box to make things as easy as we can for people. So I think that sets us apart.
Yeah, I love that. I love how you put people first, and a lot of the things that you create is because you see a need, and especially the story is so inspiring with like your husband, having thin hair, or like your kids with like eczema. I also have thin hair. Just growing up, I never had a lot of hair, and I always try like so many different types of products. I even got like hair extension. So I'm really excited that there is a local company here that is selling natural product that I will be able to now, use. So
yeah,
it's amazing.
And I think a big part of what we do too is educating people on, enhancing what you do have. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Finding ways to work with what you do have. We don't sell any hair dyes. We don't sell any beard dyes. Guys will come in, I have grays. And I would say, sorry, like you're going to have to use some chemicals if you really want to, dye it or whatever. So we do try to just have people feel confident in the skin that they're in, to be honest, whether they are bald or not, whether they've got a beard or not, finding ways to just help people and meet them where they're at.
Yeah. Have you like had challenges being able to get access to like supplies to be able to create these the products that you have right now?
So I think with us launching really the company post-COVID, there were some challenges getting things overseas, certain materials, plastic or whatever, containers, things like that. And even now, I think it's still a struggle that we have to work around with the delays. And, over in China, they still had issues with COVID lingering and things like that, that slowed down our supply. And so I think that was the biggest hurdle, honestly, in terms of sourcing materials.
Okay. Can you share a little bit more about, besides supply shortage, inflation that a lot of small business owners see now, with once the pandemic's done, there's a lot more other challenges that come with that, right? Can you share a little bit more, like what other challenges or barriers do you see as a small business owner?
So, post-COVID, yes, especially launching and even now with doing events, like vendor events look a little bit different. They're not as crowded. And, the first year was really rough with that. Especially, if people are wearing masks, it's hard to interact with them and have that, kind of personal connection that a lot of people, I think, missed with the pandemic. So now that things are shifting back to normal a little bit, we're starting to get a real feel for like what events, really used to be like and are. And so that's fun. But I think another thing is just in this area, especially, networking outside of Green Bay, right? Like we try to kind of do as much as we can in the area, but a big thing for us is we are having to travel, right? To like Milwaukee and some of those larger metro areas just to reach our target market. Just to kind of touch on this, but a big part of our business is handling eczema, whether it's with our Arctic oil or the Soothe Stick. A lot of our customers found us just because they knew we had a product that worked well for eczema. And so our target market is really to reach as many people, especially with eczema, children who have eczema, and the minority community, the Black community especially, is affected by eczema significantly more than the white community. And so with us only making up about 3 to 5% in our area, we are having to go outside of that. So I think that is a struggle that we face. Obviously funding, we have done a lot of, we've done pitch competitions and things like that just to get more working capital to grow our business because funding was a struggle. Because we weren't previous business owners, there wasn't much to go on, to get funding. So that was another hurdle for us.
Yeah, no, thank you for sharing all those challenges. Those are some of the things we hear over and over that other small business owners, especially the ones that have just started or been only in business for 2 to 3 years, those are the same exact kind of challenges that they also see as well too. So just know that you're not alone, Amy, and that, there's so much different resources out in the community here that will be available for you when you're ready to expand or grow your business as well. So just wanted to share that with you. So another thing is, do you currently have employees right now? Is it just you and your husband?
So for the most part, it's just me and my husband in terms of official employees. We do have some contract help. So my sister-in-law, Sequoia, you may see her at the store here now and then, or at events now and then. So she steps in a lot of the times to help us out. And then we do also have, I have a virtual assistant that I work with named Lynn, and she's fantastic. So we just for now have contracted help. And we'll continue to do that for now. And then as we grow, we will hopefully be able to bring on somebody else part-time and then eventually full-time.
That's awesome. Another thing is you mentioned that, it's not about just creating products and selling products, but also educating your customers. Do you have like workshops that you host to educate the customers, or is it a lot where you're just doing one-on-one like chat where, they can connect with you and you just educate through that?
Yeah, so a lot of it, I shouldn't say a lot of it, it's kind of a mix of all of those things. So when people come into the store, a lot of times they're coming in with an issue that they're hoping we can help with. And then, or just browsing, and I'm educating on different products. But when we're at vendor events, it's often somebody coming up, either they're itching on the spot and I'm like, hold on, let me like apply something so you could just feel better. And then they come back by the end of the show and they're like, oh, it worked. Like, let me get one, And so it really is like just in-person interaction is super important to us. We do pop up at a lot of vendor events. We did actually do a presentation at the Afro Hair event that African Heritage hosted, or actually People of Progression, hosted last year. And that was a great opportunity for us to share some of the knowledge, and then people would come up and ask questions. And I'm sorry, that was actually in February. Now that I'm thinking about it, it was in February. Why does it feel so long ago? Time is just flying.
It's going by fast. Yeah.
But yeah, so those types of events, we've done education. So no necessarily structured workshops. I did do a structured workshop with the foster parents in Brown County, and that was an amazing event. I had brought with me Gabby, who's a braider out at Tapers, Takita, who is also a braider out at Tapers at Appleton. And we just did a whole education. I think it was like 3 hours long of just straight, educating on hair and skincare. They were able to ask questions. A lot of those people now come to the store. And so that's great because we get to follow up. We get to check in with the kids. And so that's been an awesome experience. And I hope to do more of that. I think we're going to be doing one for Outagamie soon, because I think that's very important. And we've kind of become this safe haven hub, I think, for adoptive parents, or even, parents of biracial children that aren't sure how to do hair or manage their skin issues or whatever. And I think we've just become an open place for them to feel welcome to ask questions. And so that's a big thing for me. So it's really close to my heart. I was adopted actually at a young age, and my parents did not have the resources that there are now, even just online resources, any of that stuff that we have now. They didn't have that, 30 years ago. So it's a passion for me to be able to educate and help where I can, and kind of fill that gap. We also have people that chat and email. So if you ever have a question, or know anybody who has a question, our chat and email people, DM me on Facebook or Instagram, or through the website. We have a chat feature on the website as you're browsing and have questions. So yeah, that's what we've got.
That's awesome. I'm so inspired by your story and the care and the love that you have for people and the product that you are creating to be able to meet a need for that you don't see, that's available in the community. So that's amazing. Before we leave, Amy, I just want to ask you, as a new entrepreneur yourself, with only being in business for 2 years, what advice would you give people who are thinking of starting a business?
Yeah. So my first advice is, if you are a parent, family has to come first. I would say the first year for us was very intense. It's constant grind. And, looking back, I wish I would have been able to prioritize things a little bit better. So my first thing is prioritize what's important. If you don't have kids and you have family or friends, it's still important to make time for that. So schedule that time. My second piece of advice is show up for everything. So I know those sound like contradictions, but it's true. You do have to be at events. You have to, if you're invited to a networking event, try to make it if you can. Get tapped in with the Chamber of Commerce. The Green Bay Chamber of Commerce has been extremely helpful. We are members. It's been extremely helpful to us to be connected to them. Sign up for cohorts. I participated in several cohorts. And so Josh would be at work, and I'm, logged into constant trainings, about business or networking or finances. I mean, like, a lot of them touch on so many different things. So tapping into those cohorts to get connected with a community of other entrepreneurs that you're constantly bouncing ideas off one another. And then lastly, get out of the city every now and then. Go to some of those larger metro areas. I used to think you have to move somewhere to do anything. You don't. You have to be willing to kind of make that trip every now and then, especially Milwaukee. It's not even that far. And they are trying to get connected with us. They really are. They're trying to get connected with Green Bay. So I think that's cool. And then SCORE is very helpful as well. So they have free resources for business owners. WIBIC often has trainings and free resources for entrepreneurs. So I really just tried to get involved in everything and be a sponge and be willing to learn. And that has been extremely helpful for me. So those are my little tips.
Great advices. Yeah, I think all of those are very, very important tips. And like I mentioned, there's so much resources out in our community. Sometimes it's just difficult to be able to navigate where all the resources are. But I'm just happy that we have networking sessions. We have lots of great organizations that are ready to support, economic development and also entrepreneurs in our community here.
Yes, and of course, ColorBold. I could not leave out ColorBold because I hit up Kim Yada for a lot of things all the
That's
time. Even just
amazing too.
like brainstorm or hop on a call. So she has been phenomenal. She is an incredible resource, and I do ask or tell people to get connected with her. We do have a group. I started a little Facebook group. It's called, I think, Minority Business Owners in Fox Valley or Green Bay or something. So you can DM me if you need it. But I often post grant opportunities in there that I see, or if Kim Yada or my people send me anything, I often share it in there. So being in that group, you can get.
Is that group just for like Green Bay, Appleton, Oshkosh folks, or can it be any folks?
Northeast Wisconsin. Yeah, I'm not like super picky on that. I mean, everybody in the group is in Wisconsin for sure, though. So it's a pretty intimate group. Not a lot of people have been posting in there, so it mostly is just me. Every now and then people post, but I would like it to become, my vision for it was always for it to become this space that people could ask questions, ask for help, and post resources or post finds, and just kind of be more collaborative, so that was the group.
Definitely. We all need each other to be able to thrive and be successful. So thank you for all that you do, Amy, and thank you for starting this amazing company and being able to give, I just think you're doing something beyond just selling a product. You're educating, you're caring for people, and it's so important in this time right now.
Oh, thank you. Girl, you're gonna make me tear up.
I just think about myself. I think about me having I have a lot of skin issues too, and then I have thin hair, and then I also have eczema. I'm just I'm gonna be looking at your site after work's done, and I want to start taking care of myself because there's only one me.
Exactly, and that is that's another piece of education, I think, and even for myself. So after our last baby, I had him during the pandemic, right? Middle of COVID, struggling to kind of care for myself, and I didn't think that moisturizing or there's certain things, it seems so basic, but I wasn't doing that for myself, and I think that people underestimate the power of caring for our body and being able to teach little kids, even, my son has eczema, right? So he'll get his little patches and he'll come over and he'll be like, I itchy. And he'll run over and get his little soothe stick and he'll put it on himself. And, and I don't have to make him, or it doesn't have to be a battle. It's just him genuinely wanting to care for his body. And I think that teaching that at a young age is so powerful.
It's so powerful. And especially, if for me and growing up in in a low income family and not having my parents being able to buy these kind of skincare, and I didn't have a skincare routine because the most important thing was just basic needs, right? Just your food, your shelter. That's pretty much it. You don't get all these other skincare products. Yeah,
it's almost like a luxury.
Yeah,
and that's another thing too. Is somebody was like, you guys could price that thing at blah, 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 blah. And I was like, you're missing the whole point. We literally came out with the mini sticks just so it could be one day in Walgreens or at Target so that a mom could run in and just grab it for under $10. You know what I mean? That was our goal, to make it affordable for people, because I'm and the ingredients that we use they're not cheap. They're not the lowest of the low. These are high-end ingredients. My husband has gotten blue tansy oils from probably 7 or 8 different vendors, and we've smelled them and been like, no, it's not the real thing. You know what I mean? Even though it's significantly cheaper. And found manufacturers who use certain things that were like, no, we can't work with you. So if we're particular because it's what I want to be able to use on my kids with confidence, because I need it too. So it's it goes through the ultimate tests for us. And yeah, I'm proud of it. I'm definitely.
Yes, you should be very proud of being able to launch an amazing company and helping so many people have better skincare. So thank you, Amy.
Thank
Thank you
you.
to you, your husband, and your company. And I look forward to being able to meet you in person,
Yes.
see you at networking events as well, too. And yeah, so thank you so much, Amy, for your
Thanks for
time.
having me. I appreciate you, and I'll see you soon for sure.
Yes,
We'll,
yes.
we'll
Thank you.
bump into each other soon.
Yes, we will, definitely. Okay.
All right.
All
Thanks.
right. Yep. Bye.
Bye.